This franchise has always been about players, it's always been about basketball, and it's about anything we can do to help the player become the best they can be. This is really a huge example and an opportunity to show the rest of the league and the world and that's involved in women's sports what it takes to be a high-level athlete.
It's an unbelievable day for the Indiana Fever, another step for our franchise, again, to make this the best franchise in the world.
The Indiana Fever just made a $78 million splash. But that's not even the biggest headline today. While everyone's buzzing about their cutting-edge new facility, we've got the inside scoop on a free agency move that's turning the WNBA on its head.
So the Indiana Fever announced that they're going to open a new practice facility coming up before the 2027 season, but they're going to get their own facility now. And they showed the mock-ups online, and it's as you would expect, right? It's going to be state-of-the-art. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look cool.
Caitlin Clark and the entire Fever roster have a fresh face coming, but who's joining them? We're diving into the Fever's bold moves, from their top-tier training center to the superstar free agent they've just secured. Think you know what's next for Caitlin Clark and company? Stick around to see why Indiana could be the WNBA's hottest destination. Ready? Let's go.
As the CEO of Pacer Sports Entertainment, I couldn't be more excited for both our men's and our women's teams to have their own standalone practice facilities. I think it's expanding our campus in a great way. It's providing them everything they need to have the best performance that they can on the court. And I think it's absolutely the right time to do it.
Picture this: a basketball paradise spanning 108,000 square freight. That's the Indiana Fever's latest announcement. But why now? What's the strategy behind this massive investment? Let's break it down. We're talking about a $78 million facility that will redefine a WNBA team's home base. It's nearly twice the size of the largest WNBA facility, current or planned, and even surpasses some NBA teams' arenas. The Fever are making a bold statement, and it's impossible to ignore.
From all of the weight and conditioning equipment, obviously we'll have 2 full-size courts. It'll be available 24/7 for them to come and utilize it, but also just the best in recovery, the best in mental health, places for them to be able to also record content, podcasts, and other things that they may have to go off-site and waste time doing things like that. So they can really maximize their time spent focusing on their performance and not on other things.
So what's inside this hoops paradise? 2 full-size courts to start, but it gets better. Strength training areas that could rival pro bodybuilders' gyms. Recovery rooms with saunas and infrared facilities that feel more like a spa than a sports center. It's everything a player needs to perform at their peak. Here's the twist: mental health facilities, a full-service kitchen, a podcast studio, and even a nail salon. The Fever aren't just focused on training, they're thinking about the whole player experience. This facility is built to help athletes thrive both on and off the court.
Well, first of all, our goals for this new training center is really to provide a first-in-class training center that is designed exclusively for women athletes. And I think that's important to note because it's not just a gym, it's a holistic approach to how women athletes train, recover, rehab.
This is going to be the best in class when it comes to a women's professional training facility. And not just the day that it opens, we're gonna set this up and think about this as the best in class for many years to come.
The Palace is set to open in 2027, and there's some serious strategy behind it. That's when Aaliyah Boston's rookie deal ends, and Caitlin Clark's contract is up in 2028. The Fever are laying the foundation for their future, sending a clear message to their stars and every free agent. This is where you want to be. Now, compare that to other teams. The Connecticut Sun are sharing their practice space with birthday parties and yoga classes. Alyssa Thomas of the Sun said, "We're a professional team, competing for playoffs. But having to share the court with a toddler's birthday party, talk about a contrast."
When I played in the Connecticut Sun, we practiced in like the recreational, like the tribal facility because the team is owned by the tribe. And so sometimes there'll be be people doing like yoga classes and
that's crazy.
and different stuff, and like we'll be on the court, like practicing on the full court, like the full
During
NBA
your
size
practice
court.
doing that?
Right, and then they'll come in and we have to like put the divider down,
Hell no.
and then we'll start going on a court that was like smaller than like a high school court. Kid you not, while we're in the playoffs.
They talking about keep
we're
it
getting
down.
ready
We
for
got a yoga
playoff
class
game.
going on over here.
Yeah, and it's like you peek your head over the side and it's like 3 people over there like doing downward dog or something crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? So
The stars are taking notice. Caitlin Clark is fired up, posting on Instagram and getting everyone hyped this Thursday. Aaliyah Boston's already using the facility as a recruiting tool, telling potential free agents that Indiana is the place to be. She says, "The Fever do so well at pouring into us and making us feel like the professional athletes we are." Even basketball legend Lisa Leslie is impressed, commenting, "This is what investing in women looks like." When legends are singing your praises, you know you're doing something right.
As we look toward Indianapolis becoming the epicenter of women's sports, having professional women's sports teams and having dedicated training facilities for them is really a key piece of putting that together.
This facility is more than just a building. It's a game changer that could shape the WNBA for years to come. The Fever are positioning themselves as the team every player wants to join, creating an environment where athletes can excel, both on and off the court. As free agency decisions approach in the coming years, this investment could be the key factor that attracts top talent and keeps stars like Boston and Clark
So
in
we
Indiana for the
finally
long
got the
haul.
news that we expected
Now,
to hear
are you
all
ready for
along
some major
Kelsey Mitchell.
free agent
we
news?
finally got the news, and it is that Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever has received the core designation. Yes, Kelsey Mitchell has been cored by the Indiana Fever.
Let's talk about the bombshell dropped in Indiana. The Fever made a power move that has everyone talking. They CED Kelsey Mitchell. You might be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, in the WNBA, CEDing a player is like slapping a giant. Keep away sign on them. It's a special designation that gives teams exclusive negotiating rights during the free agency period. And Kelsey Mitchell? She's a star. The Fever just showed how much they value her by offering a 1-year Supermax contract worth nearly $250,000. That's serious cash and shows just how committed Indiana is to building a powerhouse team.
If you're asking me to give a percentage chance of Kelsey Mitchell staying, I would go as far as to say 99. I'd go as far as say 99.
If you're asking me to give a percentage chance of Kelsey Mitchell staying, I'd say it's as high as 99%.
As I've said, there's no reason why Kelsey Mitchell wouldn't want to play with the Fever. And we've basically seen the Fever posting about Kelsey Mitchell everywhere. So it's not like it's something that is unlikely, but it is going to be huge. And at this stage, it's like trust the process. It's trust the organization. Because look, this organization has proven that they're willing to put the money back that's generated by it.
Here's where it gets interesting. Mitchell could still potentially leave the Fever, but only if the team agrees to a trade. If Mitchell really wanted out, which doesn't seem likely, the Fever could land some serious assets in return. Think high draft picks, promising young players, or maybe even another established star. But why would Mitchell want to leave now? The Fever are building something special, and she's at the heart of it. Imagine Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark in the same backcourt. Talk about a scoring explosion.
This is the smartest thing for you. And there's no way that and there's no agent in the world that would tell Kelsey Mitchell not to sign with Indiana. To be honest, there is no agent in the world that will tell any player not to sign in Indiana.
Mitchell averaged 19.3 points per game last season. That's elite level scoring. And she did it while playing alongside Clark and Boston, who drew a lot of defensive attention. With Clark and Mitchell, you've got two of the most lethal scorers in the game on the same court. Defenses are going to have nightmares trying to stop them both. The Fever aren't just building a team. They're crafting a roster that could dominate for years. They've already got 9 players under contract for 2025 and still have around $650,000 in cap space. That's enough to pay Mitchell her supermax and still have room to sign another max player and a key veteran.
Like, if you're asking me what team should Kelsey Mitchell play for if she's, like, in reality, the answer is the Indiana Fever. Like, there's no basketball, there's no genuine basketball reason for her to play for anyone else. Is there even a non-basketball reason for her to play for the Fever? There's no, like, maybe if we're talking about, like, non-basketball reasons, like personal reasons maybe, but like off the court reasons there's none either. So
Mitchell's core designation is a rare move for the Fever. In fact, she's only the 5th player in the franchise's 25-year history to receive this honor. We're talking about a club that includes legends like Tamika Catchings. That's the kind of company Mitchell is in now, and she's not taking it lightly. She's been vocal about her connection to Indianapolis, saying, "I've always seen Indianapolis as a home for me."
And then also, you're one of the top free agents in this year. So, I mean, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas.
So, you think the Fever are done this offseason? Think again. It's only just begun. Remember that extra cap space? Here's the plan. There's a 6.4 unicorn about to hit the open market, and she's got the Fever written all over her. And here's the twist. She's already dropped some major news about her current team. Ready for this potential game changer?
And I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet. And I'm excited to get to know them more on a personable level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high-level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will fit best in the future.
We're talking about none other than Satu Sabally. During a media availability for Unrivaled, Sabally dropped this bombshell. "I've already played my last game in Dallas." Just like that, the WNBA free agency landscape shifted dramatically.
Ben?
To just following up there, I guess, because you said it, Satu, what was Dallas's reaction when you communicated that to them?
Obviously, at first they were still trying, but I think what is most effective is working with the player and listening to their wishes and hearing out how we can find a best solution for each other.
So, where's Sabally headed? The New York Liberty are in the mix, with Satu's sister, Niara, already on the team. But hold your horses. The Indiana Fever might just have the inside track. Why? 2 words: cap space. The Fever have money to spend, and Sabally is eyeing a potential max contract, something the Liberty can't offer unless they dump assets and deplete their bench, with Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and Jonkel Jones already on max deals.
They've been effective tonight. Williams slips the pass. Get that thing out of our basket.
Dallas needed a little bit of juice, a little bit of energy right there. Thank you for that, Satu.
Ben. Yeah. To follow up, what was Dallas's reaction when you told them? Well, at first, they were still trying. But I think what's most effective is working with the player, listening to their wishes, and figuring out how we can find the best solution for both sides.
Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things.
Picture this lineup. Caitlin Clark, running point. Kelsey Mitchell at the 2. Lexi Hull on the wing. Satu Sabally at power forward. And Aaliyah Boston holding down the paint. That's a nightmare for any team in the league. Last season, Sabally was a force to be reckoned with. 18.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game. But here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine those numbers with Caitlin Clark as her point guard. Clark's court vision and passing ability could elevate Sabally's game to a whole new level, just like how the rest of the team thrived with Clark.
Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. She's selling out gyms. Why would you hate against that? We had a sold-out home opener. I think it was a practice game, like it wasn't even serious. We benefited from that because now we have all our fans there, and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. She is her own economy, and that is amazing.
Thank you for sharing. Sabally has been dropping hints on social media that have Fever fans buzzing. She's been liking comments from fans begging her to come to Indiana. One fan wrote, "Would love to see you with the Fever." And guess what? Sabally hit that like button. But it's not just about social media moves. Her playing style would mesh perfectly with the Fever's roster. Her ability to stretch the floor, shooting 40.6% from three over the last 2 seasons, would create space for Boston to dominate in the paint. Plus, her versatility on defense would allow the Fever to switch everything, giving them a defensive edge.
Building quality depth is going to be important. You know, when you have a core 3 like we have, you know, surrounding them with players who are going to, you know, fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, you know, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well.
If Sabally ends up in Indiana, we're talking about a potential dynasty in the making. Clark, Boston, Mitchell, and Sabally. That's a core that could dominate the WNBA for years to come. We could see multiple championship runs with this group.
Can prevent that tonight. Gabby Williams with the pick. Oh, behind the back to Joe! Hello! Showtime on a Wednesday night!
But the Fever aren't putting all their eggs in one basket. They've got options, including Gabby Williams from the Seattle Storm as a solid plan B. The suspense is real, folks. Will Sabally make the move to Indiana and create a super team? Or will another team swoop in at the last minute? The WNBA landscape is about to change, and we can't wait to see how it all plays out.
This is a place where players can come and get better and be surrounded by an organization that supports you, where they're going to have everything they need to be successful.
Let's talk about Gabby Williams, a free agent who's caught the Fever's eye as they build their championship dream team. Why are they considering Williams alongside Sabally? It's simple. She brings a unique set of skills that could be the missing piece in the Fever's puzzle. Defense is Williams' strength. She's a lockdown defender who can disrupt offenses and create turnovers. But here's where it gets interesting. Williams isn't just about defense. She steps up offensively when it counts. In last year's playoffs, she averaged 17 points per game, proving she can deliver under pressure. Williams' versatility is a coach's dream, allowing the team to adjust to different matchups. Picture Williams at small forward, freeing up Lexi Hull to come off the bench and knock down threes, or imagine her at power forward, giving the Fever a lightning-fast lineup. That'll leave opponents scrambling.
She's the reflection of what should happen in women's sports.
Can Williams handle the pressure of a championship run? You bet she can. She's been battle-tested in the playoffs and even competed against Team USA in the Olympics. This woman knows what it takes to perform on the biggest stages, and at just 27 years old, she's entering her prime, right as the Fever are gearing up for a serious title push. Talk about perfect timing. Analysts are buzzing about how her defensive prowess and scoring ability could complement Caitlin Clark's game. Imagine Clark dishing out jaw-dropping assists to a cutting Williams. That's a combination that could give opposing coaches nightmares. Williams brings more than just on-court skills. Coaches rave about her work ethic and adaptability, intangibles that can elevate a good team to greatness. Her playoff experience could be invaluable for the Fevers, younger players, providing leadership when the stakes are highest.
So you like being a two-way player, like you like playing both ends?
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that always been like that?
No.
So it's new. You just started to enjoy defense.
Yeah. I feel like I just enjoy the game.
So, why are the Fever considering Williams as part of their championship strategy? It's about finding that perfect puzzle piece that makes everything click. Williams' unique combination of defensive ability, clutch scoring, versatility, and experience addresses several of the Fever's needs, potentially adding her alongside a star like Sabally. The Fever are showing they're serious about building a well-rounded championship-caliber team in the WNBA, where every advantage counts. Williams could be that secret ingredient that pushes the Fever over the top. Her ability to impact the game on both ends of the court, along with her playoff experience, makes her an intriguing option as the Fever look to build a roster that can compete for a title. With Williams in the mix, the Fever might have found the final piece of their championship puzzle.
That's what I love doing. That's what I did all those years, was finding ways to add another player to our roster that's going to impact us and help us get better. So
let's talk about the bigger picture. The Indiana Fever are orchestrating a symphony of success with a master plan that's set to shake up the entire WNBA. At the center of it all is a perfect storm brewing for dynasty building. Picture this: a state-of-the-art facility, a roster brimming with talent, and strategic free agency moves. The Fever are laying the foundation for a dynasty, and it all starts with one player, Caitlin Clark. We've all seen what Clark can do on the court. She's a force of nature, sending shockwaves through the league. Are you ready for this? The Fever have seen a mind-blowing 4 times increase in attendance. Clark is packing arenas to the rafters.
everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
But here's where it gets interesting. Clark isn't doing this alone. Enter Aaliyah Boston. Together, Clark and Boston form a dynamic duo that could dominate the league for years to come. It's like watching the birth of a basketball supernova, and with Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull in the mix, the Fever are crafting a Fab Four that could rewrite the WNBA history books. The Fever aren't done yet. Whether it's Satu Sabally, Gabby Williams, or another game-changing free agent, they're still on the hunt for that final piece of the puzzle. With their new practice facility, the Fever are making a statement. Come to Indiana. We'll treat you like the stars you are.
Though it didn't end the way we wanted it to end, there was a lot of optimism. There was a lot of enthusiasm around, this is a new beginning, it's a new start. And I think it's great for our franchise, it's great for our fans, and we're excited to see who can join us and help us as we continue to move forward and continue to be a great standard in the WNBA.
The buzz around the league is electric. Players are taking notice. The Fever are transforming from underdogs to the team everyone wants to join when Aaliyah Boston's rookie deal expires in 2027, or when Caitlin Clark's contract is up in 2028. Don't you think they'll remember this commitment? Kelly Krause, the Fever's president, emphasized that this new facility isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about showing their dedication to providing the best for their players. It's about creating an environment where champions are born and legacies are built. But let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about the Indiana Fever. It's about raising the bar for the entire WNBA. When one team invests this heavily in their future, it challenges every other franchise to step up their game. The ripple effects of this move will be felt across the league for years to come. The endgame. The Indiana Fever are positioning themselves to become the WNBA's next great dynasty. But here's the thing. Great expectations come with great challenges. Can they manage the pressure of sky-high expectations? Will their young stars adapt to the pro game quickly enough? And let's not forget about the fierce competition from established powerhouses. The Fever are betting big on their young stars, their free agency moves, and their ability to create a winning culture. The question is, are they ready for what comes next? One thing's for sure, The basketball world is watching, and the Fever are determined to put on a show. The Indiana Fever just set a new standard for WNBA teams. Their state-of-the-art facility isn't just about fancy courts. It's a game changer for player treatment and future investment. Teams like the Connecticut Sun, still sharing practice, space, now face serious competition for free agents. The Fever raised the bar, and other teams must follow suit or risk falling behind. Who's next to make a big move? The game has changed, and the Fever showed what going all in on women's basketball looks like. This investment ties directly to Caitlin Clark's impact. Her star power is pushing teams to elevate their game off the court. How will other franchises respond to this new era in the WNBA? Can the other teams keep up? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.